our national anthem from right here in Columbia. We get ready for the final game of the day, Charleston and Hogan Prep. And we want to take a look at some of these highlights of the earlier games that these two teams played. Charleston first. We like to get up and down. That's what Coach Farmer said. They did that the other night in winning over Mount Vernon.
Yeah, they're going to push tempo. They're going to look to go up and down the floor. We're going to be looking at Gregory Tucker. He's averaging over 20 points a game. Does a really, really great job. Eric Cassell also is one of those guys that you're just going to love to watch. And you look at what they can do to you. They can get you in transition. They can drive. They can penetrate. They can knock down the jumper, and that's exactly what they're going to want to do today. And there's Tucker, who is Mr. Everything for this Blue Jay ball club.
Yeah, averaging 20 points a game, over 20 points. That's exactly what he had yesterday against Mount Vernon in their win. They had to come up with some crucial free throws by Crucian Scott to win the ball game. He's only a 55% free throw shooter on this season. It's Tucker, you see right there going to the hole. But he came up big and hit those free throws to win the game. Hogan Prep on the other side, still looking at those highlights from Charleston in their win. And Tucker, man, he got 20, but every one of these highlights looks like it's of him. And there they are after they won the game.
Yeah, he does a great job. And then you look at Hogan Prep, and boy, oh boy, there's two guys that you're going to look at. Number one, Maurice Mason, 14 points a game, actually does a lot of things that is going to be very good for Hogan Prep. He can rebound, he can distribute, he can shoot the three ball. But then the quiet leader, Broderick Newbill, 20 points a game. He does it all, and he is a force inside. You're going to have to watch him do some great things. But the big breakout player from the other night was Ahmad Wainwright. He had 20 points in their victory over a very talented Lutheran North team. Watching these guys, they're balanced. They got 4 kids that scored in doubles in the semifinal, and they can flat out get it done. It's going to be a fun matchup. Tell you what, I'm excited to see the guards go with each other. I know they're probably going to put Mo Mason guarding him head up on Greg Tucker. Boy, I tell you what, that's what defense is all about in the Class 3 state championship game.
Hogan Prep, if there's a little advantage, they have the size. They got some guys up at 6'6", 6'5", 6'4". That'll be tough for Charleston to contend with, but as we said, Charleston goes very deep. It'll be tough for those guards to get the ball up the floor. Maurice Mason for Hogan Prep, a vocal leader, an overall leader for this team. He really took over down the stretch the other night, hitting big free throws and everything else they needed.
Yeah, I've had a chance to see Hogan Prep a couple times during the regular season, and what he does is absolutely amazing, running the point and running the show for Steve Seitzer and the Rams.
And right now for our starting lineups, let's throw it over to the PA announcer, Mark Mills.
Number 30, a 6'2" senior, Gregory Tucker. For Hogan Prep, a 6'4" junior, number 13, Jonathan Hopkins. For the Blue Jays, a forward, a 6'1" senior, number 32, Jamal Gray. For Hogan Prep, a 6'6" senior, number 20, Broderick Newbill. For the Blue Jays, a 6'2" senior, number 52, Crucian Scott. And for the Rams, a 5'6" junior, number 11, Anthony Wrigley. Starting for the Blue Jays, a 5'10" junior, number 20, Ryan Caro. For Hogan Prep, a 6'3" sophomore, number 5, Ahmad Wainwright. And for the Blue Jays, a 5'8" junior, number 12, Aaron Cassell. For Hogan Prep, a 6'2" senior, number 3, Maurice Mason. The head coach of the Charleston Blue Jays is Danny Farmer. The head coach of the Hogan Prep Academy Rams, Steve Seitzer.
Here are the starting lineups once again. To recap, Cassell, Parham, Tucker, Gray, and Carter for Charleston. And for Hogan Prep, Mason, Wainwright, Ridley, Hawkins, and Broderick Newbill. A lot of atmosphere here at Mizzou Arena. That's what's been fun for these teams when they get introduced. We like to go right to it, PA address, announcer, and all, and have fun with it.
You know what? And it's even better at night with the see-through windows here at Mizzou Arena. It's cool during the day, but it just gets so much better at night, gives the full effect. And you know what? What Misha does is just outstanding and giving the atmosphere for the kids. And we look at the head coach for Charleston, Danny Farmer. Longtime guys coach, also got it done on the women's side. Scott County Central just is unbelievable, and Danny Farmer was part of that. Then, of course, Steve Steitzer over for Hogan Prep, one of the great coaches out in the Kansas City area.
Danny Farmer in his 15th season at Charleston, Steve Steitzer in his 14th season at Hogan Prep. And the Rams of Hogan Prep control the tip, trying to defend their state title, and they're off to a good start with Newbill.
Nice job on the tip. That was a set play. They got the tip to Newbill, and he was able to get down the court.
And they cause a turnover right out of the gate. And we'll get it from underneath their own hoop. There's Ahmad Wainwright, number 5, that was walking by there. Boy, what a game he had the other night. 20 points, the 6'3 sophomore. To trigger in, it's Mason. Goes right to Wainwright. Up over the top, no. Mason, the rebound. It will not go, and the rebound taken away by Charleston. Pulling it down, Krushan Scott.
Cannot give Hogan Prep second chance opportunity.
Oh, it's wiped out of there by Hawkins. He is long, and he can get up.
Both these two clubs kind of feeling each other out, but they know each other very, very well. Once again, Charleston lost to Hogan Prep in last year's state semifinal game, but these two programs know each other. They're mirror images of each other in a lot of ways.
Hogan beat Stafford in the title game to win it 61-46 as they defend here tonight. A traveling call going against Charleston. Let's look at the keys to the game, Jimmy.
Hogan Prep, very simple. Control tempo. Get the pace early, set the pace early, and then you know what? You got to work the boards. If you're Hogan Prep, use your size. Get the battle of the boards and win on the inside. That's going to be huge for the Rams.
Wainwright had it knocked away. And a traveling call before that. Let's take a look at Charleston's keys to the game.
You got to turn the heat up. That's what Danny Farmer wants. He knows that nobody in the state of Missouri can play 32 minutes, and then you got to make number 3 work. You got to make Mo Mason go to work on both the offense and defensive ends.
He's got it right now. Leave it back for a slam by Broderick Newbill.
Transition. Defense turns into points on the other side. Mason, a nice little touch pass, and B. Newbill knocks it down and flushes it home.
From outside, Cassell a 3-no. Rebound, Krushan Scott, and it will stay with Charleston.
Take a look. Here comes the long home run pass. Gives it to Mason. Mason behind the back. Newbill with the flush.
How sweet was that? Dropped down by Mason. His partner was running the floor. Got a foul on the floor going against Hogan Prep. As right now the Rams of Hogan lead it 4-0. Played about a minute and a half so far.
Those were the two kids we talked about, the two leaders of the Rams getting it done, and you're going to see that hookup quite a few times tonight.
There's one of the leaders, Greg Tucker, here for Charleston. The man. He tries a 3. Shot no good. Flying in. Going for the rebound, that was Anthony Ridley. He's only 5'6", the junior, but shot out of a cannon there. It will stay with Charleston. Greg Tucker. And the rebound pulled away by Jonathan Hawkins.
Talked a lot about Boot Hill basketball this weekend in Charleston. One of those teams that's leading the uprising down there. One of the big things that those teams like to do down south in the Boot Hill, they love to up-tempo and run. We had a chance to see Scott County Central, Sykeston, some of those teams that just like to get out and go, and that's part of the reason why Boot Hill basketball is really turning around.
Charleston has won 10 state titles over the course of history. Last time was in 2007 under Coach Farmer. And there's a block going against Hogan Prep.
One of the things, too, with Charleston, they get the victory tonight. That gives them number 11 in the history of the school. That's going to put them second right behind Scott County Central in most boys state championships on the basketball court.
Scott County Central now has 16 after their win today in Class 1. Charleston yet to get one on the scoreboard. Here's Hawkins driving into the lane, and that's an offensive foul on Jonathan Hawkins.
Tell you what, Krushan Scott, what an outstanding job in getting set, getting position. Look, set, up, does it. That's the way you do it. Textbook, taking the charge.
Well, we've seen what Hawkins can do. He is long. He can get up. Probably the best leaper on this team. He had a big-time two-hand flush the other night. Coach Farmer looking on, trying to get in the middle of this conversation. There's Broderick Newbill. He's already had a dunk here tonight.
Officials getting together, making sure they got the foul on the right person. And one of the big things that you do is you get together with your partners, make sure you get it right. The big thing, though, is these teams move so fast, sometimes the officials are going to lose who made the foul.
Yeah, it's tough to keep up with these guys. 4-0 right now. Hogan Prep on top. Charleston still a lid on the bucket. Hustle is on. Tucker comes away. Leaves it back for Parham. Short on the shot. Might have been bothered by Mason. Another offensive rebound, though, by Cassell at only 5'8", the senior.
Pull it out. Patience. Run your offense. Now Hogan coming out in the man. Set some screens. Get Tucker available. Let him slash to the basket.
And it's Ahmad Wainwright, the sophomore, guarding Tucker. Wainwright at 6'3", the sophomore. Greg Tucker, the senior, at 6'2". There's Parham, the garbage and the cleanup.
Parham is one of those kids that you love if you're a coach. He's always around the bucket. He's got a nose for the basketball and able to get those second chance points.
5'10" junior, Ryan Parham on the pull-up. Ridley short on the shot, but a foul as he takes it up. And that foul's going to be on Cassell.
Once again, great job in working hard. Down underneath, shot goes up. But there's Johnny on the spot, Ryan Parham, this junior, 5'10", averaging 9.5 a game, able to come up with the garbage and get the second chance points.
And get the first two of the ball game for the Blue Jays of Charleston. Checking in for the Blue Jays, Michael Hull, the 5'10" junior, and leaving Aaron Cassell. And Ridley misses the first. Ridley, the 5'6" junior. He had a couple points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists the other night in the semifinals. There's Mason off the miss, and he'll go to the free throw line.
That is going to drive Danny Farmer absolutely out of his mind, is when you let rebounds get long and let one of the star players for the opposite team come up with it and get the rebound and take it to the basket and get fouled. You've got to get these rebounds, and that's what he did. Mason was able to come up with the long rebound. Not a good checkout right there by Charleston.
Maurice Mason at the free throw line misses the first. He made a bunch of clutch plays down the stretch when they beat Lutheran North in the semifinals, 68-64. Hit free throws down the stretch, made the key plays. I asked him if he was the guy, if he wanted the ball and wanted to go to the line. He said, absolutely. We run line drills every day after practice, and then we shoot free throws. I'm always the last guy at the line. It's always on me, and I want the ball in crunch time, and he delivered to get them here in the finals. He misses 2 here, and coming out of the pack, here are the Blue Jays with Greg Tucker. Quickly to Parham. Now it's Sumner Foster, wiped away by Newbill. Wainwright comes out of the pack.
One thing you notice about Hogan, they're long. I mean, they've got wide span with their arms. They're tall. I mean, that's just a fun group of kids to watch because they are so long and they make teams have to pass over top like Tucker's trying to do right now.
Yeah, and he had it sent right back to him. Here goes Hull, and a foul on Hogan Prep. And this foul is going to be on Newbill. Or actually, that's on Hawkins. He picks up his second personal foul and the 4th team foul. And that's a guy that's going to have to sit down. They don't like to see that out of Hawkins, but they've got a guy to replace him. And look again.
Inside right there, got it down deep into Hawkins, and then down on the opposite end, got the foul call on him, so he's going to take a seat with 2 early on here in the first period.
It's going to be Evan Hines that checks in, the sophomore, 6'4". He looks like he's grown a little bit after that measurement.
big, they're tall, they're lanky, and they can get it done, and Charleston just can't find the basket right now.
Long rebound, Ridley. Dealing it off on the pull-up, Hines. Missed the shot, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Rams of Hogan Prep.
We're going to have a media timeout, and real quick, Coach Farmer, one of the things he's going to address right now is going to be the offensive board. They're not getting it done.
We take a break. You're watching Show Me Showdown.
It'll never happen.
I'll never wreck my car.
I'll never roll my truck. Never happened to me. Never. Never. Never.
Never happened to me.
7 out of 10 teenagers killed in Missouri traffic crashes were not wearing their seatbelts.
Never say never. Always buckle up.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Ears, check. Sunglasses, check. Seatbelt, check. What are you doing? I don't wear my seatbelt. Oh yeah, because only cool people will wear their seatbelts. I'm cool. Check.
This Misha State Championship game is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Charleston and Hogan Prep here tonight. And there is a lid on the bucket for Charleston.
Yeah, they cannot get a bucket right now. 1 of 12 on the night so far. Couple possessions where they've had multiple opportunities and haven't been able to knock down a shot.
Lob it into Ridley. Covered there by Michael Hull. Man-to-man defense for Charleston. Ridley leaves it back for Wainwright. On the pull-up from outside. Too strong. Rebound. Parham. Down the floor. He finds Hull running. Goaltending on Wainwright.
Yep, they're going to get the goaltending. Great call by the officials. And down there, you can't slap the backboard. They got the transition and they got the cherry pick out, but you can't slap the backboard like that. So finally they get on the scoreboard with another field goal.
And Ryan Parham, the guy that got him the ball, he's the guy that knows where everybody on the floor is at all times. And a bucket by Maurice Mason.
Nice little teardrop falling down for Mason on the runner. Here comes that pressure defense by Hogan Prep.
Knocked out of bounds on the sideline. Blue Jays will keep it. Both teams want to run it. And there goes Parham, stripped from behind, right into the hands of Hines. And here come the Rams. Up the floor, Mason launches the three.
My man can shoot from all over the gymnasium. He does it off the dribble drive. He can also square his shoulders up and knock down the tray.
From outside, shot rings home on the good roll for Greg Tucker.
They needed to get him involved to get him active.
Ball goes out of bounds and over to the Blue Jays.
Good to see these two teams getting in transition and look to get it done. Here comes Tucker. He's just going to pull up, sets his feet, squares up, gets the shooter's roll.
He's taken a few of those this season. 153s on the season, and there's a bucket by Michael Hull off the bench, 4 quick points.
He's made 51 of them, so he's shooting nearly 33% from beyond the arc.
Here goes Mason backing out on the defense from Parham. That tough man-to-man played by Charleston. We approach 2 minutes in the first quarter. Last game of the day, Class 3 Boys State Championship. Newbill on the miss. Rebound Hull. And Parham always in control, their leader from the point guard position. But this guy is their overall leader, the senior Greg Tucker. As the ball's knocked out of bounds, it will stay with the Blue Jays.
Hogan Prep running 2 guys after him down in the corner. They see him dribble down there, and that's smart. Try and get the double team, but what you've got to do now is you've got to make sure you spot up and know where the wide open guard's going to be.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do is put Tucker on the line. He's been there over 200 times this season. He's 81%. Parham up over the top, knocked out of bounds, over to Hogan Prep.
Tucker tried to get the rebound, not able to do it. Tips it out of bounds, but you're exactly right. This Hogan Prep team, they're going to double down on him, but what he's got to do is he's got to attack the basket. He's got to go after it.
Mason handling out front, gets a piece of the lane. Great look down low to Hines. And the ball stripped out of bounds. It'll stay with Hogan Prep. That gives you a little bit of flavor of what Mason is all about.
You know, Mason does such a nice job and does so many things well for Hogan Prep in their offense and their defensive sets.
Well, I think Ridley might have stepped on the sideline.
You know, Neil, one of the big things, Charleston had a couple losses in February that served, actually one loss, that served as a wake-up call. That game, Tucker was out. He had a deep thigh bruise, and also Ray was out with an ankle. So that was kind of the wake-up call for Charleston. Look what they've done ever since.
Yeah, they really have. Tucker's picked it up. Again, he had 20 points the other night in the semifinals. There he goes. Piece of the lane. Rebound on the putback. No good, but a foul down low. Doing the dirty work down there. Darion Carter, 6'3" junior, wearing 54. He'll go to the line.
3.5 a game, getting 3 boards a game, but you said it right there, doing the dirty work down there. Second chance opportunity. We've talked a lot about that today, Neil, but people have to understand in high school basketball, second chance points are some of the most important points that you can get as a player, and coaches love that stat.
Yeah, great hustle there by Carter. Greg Tucker, once again, getting in there, getting a piece of the lane. I think what they have waiting on them, though, from Hogan Prep, these long athletes, they have to shoot the ball a little bit higher, a little bit quicker than maybe they're used to. But Carter was there for the putback, and he gets 2 free throws. And we're tied at 11 here in the first quarter as Danny Farmer, the 15th season here at Charleston, looking on.
Yeah, first tie of the night. Hogan Prep hasn't scored a field goal since a little more than 3 minutes, so we've gone 2 minutes without scoring. Charleston's cranking up the defense a little bit.
A foul on the wing. Trey Watkins just checked in, 6'1" junior. Commits the foul on the far sideline over there on the right wing. That's the 4th team foul on Charleston. Here's Perry Davis, 6'2" senior, triggering in to Anthony Ridley. And they spread it out, 1 out, 4 down. And watch Ridley go. Shaking them up out high. Dealing it off. The shot by Collins. A little bit short. Wainwright in there. He's doing the dirty work.
Come on, Wainwright. You're just waiting for him to make something happen. He does. Once again, offensive board, put back, count it.
And once again, what a game he had the other night. This one out of bounds. Turns over to Hogan Prep. Wainwright, 20 points, 7 rebounds the other night. Here he is getting on the offensive glass.
Drive, kick out. Nice job there. Put the shot up, had a great look at it, but then all of a sudden he misses, and Bradshaw's right there with it for Wainwright.
Ridley put it in the crack right there for the rebound. Newbell on the other side, though, it goes to Wainwright.
Amon Wainwright making his presence known on the inside, getting 2 more points. Second chance. Gotta love the offensive work by the sophomore.
6 for 10 the other night from the field for Wainwright, and 7 for 7 from the line. He also had 3 steals in that ball game. He's had a couple of putbacks here in the last 2 possessions as we wind down in the first quarter. From outside, that one's short, but a foul. That's going to be 3 shots as Dominique Williams comes out and commits the foul.
There's nothing worse or nothing else that is going to drive a coach nuts than committing a foul beyond the arc. Sure, you're trying to contest, you're trying to get a good check out, but you know what? You can't foul because now 3 shots, no time running off the clock. Charleston's got a chance to cut it to 1.
Hall 68% on the free throw line this season. Quarterback on the football team. Got a few football players that play for Coach Farmer here on the basketball side, and Hull, one of those, 5'10" junior. The second one goes right through there.
Charleston very good in the football field as well. Made some pretty deep runs. Ran into a team that I know very well in the St. Louis area, Maplewood, Richmond Heights, a few times, and had a chance to see some of these kids play football. And, you know, they're pretty talented on the football field as well.
Yeah, you can only imagine the way they move out here on the basketball floor. And Hull now has 6. And he brings his team to within 2 at the end of 1 period of play. Hogan Prep 15, Charleston 13. You're watching Show Me Showdown 2012, the Class 3 Boys State Championship game. Back right after this. Second quarter action, and while we're at it here, Jim, we want to thank some of the folks in the media room. Jason West, Julie Calfee, they've done a great job for Misha and for us working with us, and you've been in the mix too.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of fun. I get the chance to do the football championships, the basketball championships, and the soccer championships, helping with the media stuff and helping get everything organized. And Jason West and Julie Calfee doing a phenomenal job in making sure everything runs smooth and to make our lives as broadcasters very easy, and I get to have both ends of it. I'm living in both worlds this weekend.
You're burning it at every corner this week, I'll tell you, and last week.
I may sleep for a week after this is all done, brother.
Nice job. Darion Carter has 4 points now after that little bucket, and we are tied at 15 here in the second quarter.
Remember that sequence at the end of the quarter where Charleston knocked down 2 or 3 free throws after the foul on the three-point shot.
On the move, Ridley finding Mason. Little shot goes from about 8 feet for Maurice Mason.
He does such a nice job with his body on that. He was falling back, but had great control and great form, able to knock down that shot.
Somebody got a piece of that shot. And a foul down low, or he's on the baseline, so it'll stay with Charleston.
We show this nice little jumper here. They're going to kick it out. Mason, look at him just falling back, but he's got great form. He keeps his shot, you know, the elbow in the shooter's pocket, able to fall through and knock down the jumper.
And a great job by Anthony Ridley to find him and drop it off after he penetrated. So now Charleston with their leading scorer, Greg Tucker, on the left baseline over there, jousting with Wainwright, and a foul going against Wainwright. Well, that's a good matchup between a senior Tucker and a sophomore Wainwright.
And Wainwright's not going to give an inch, and you know Tucker's going to go right after him. Great matchup in the man-to-man with these two young men. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and they're going to have to put Wainwright down on the bench as he's got 2 fouls.
Yeah, Wainwright takes a seat and into the ball game at 6'9". That is Andrew Newbill, brother of Broderick Newbill, that checks in. He's a junior.
Not a lot of minutes go out to the bench here for Hogan Prep. If you look at their box score from the other night, had 3, 4, 5 players, nearly 30 minutes in action, and then you look at Malik Collins, and then Dominic Williams that got about 10 minutes. So Steve Schlietzer does not like to go into his bench very deep.
There's that great free throw stroke of Greg Tucker as he buries 2 there. And once again, we're tied at 17.
Tucker shoots 81%, been to the line over 200 times during the season. And you know what? He does a great job in that penetration, drawing the foul and attacking.
Ridley shaking him up again. Now fires the shot, and he scored it.
We knew we were going to see athletes, man. I'm telling you, we knew we were going to see athletes. They're putting on a show tonight on the biggest stage here in the state of Missouri in the high school level tonight, the Show Me Showdown here at Mizzou Arena.
Oh, he shook him so hard, he loosened some cavities and then drained that little floater. Watch it again.
Comes off and just works a little one-on-one between the legs, pulls it up, hits that little right-hand jumper, and able to knock it down.
And look who's back at the free throw line, Greg Tucker. 18 fouls now on Hogan Prep here in the first half. And if you get Tucker going to the line, I mean, that's nothing new, like we've been saying, over 200 times this season, but he missed the front end that time. And Charleston gets the offensive board, though.
Great opportunity now, second chance, got the offensive board. You got to make it happen, though.
And now it's Ridley at 5'6", checking the 6'2", Tucker. Parham had it swatted. I think Newbill got a piece. Back out high, Tucker, as Charleston keeps it alive. On the pull-up, Cassell. Ridley for the rebound. And a foul down low going on Krushan Scott.
Jamal Gray did an outstanding job in keeping that possession alive. Chased down a loose ball and tipped it back out front to Tucker, who was able then to reset the offense and to get something going. That's what you love to see out of these kids, is they're making those hustle plays.
Turns over here to Hogan Prep after the foul. Krushan picks up his first, and that's the 15th foul. Make it 6 now with that foul going on Parham. And on Ryan Parham, that is foul number 1.
Getting that double team, trying to come up. They're running their man, but they're also jumping out of it. And a run and jump, for those that don't know, really simple. If your man is closest to the person that's got the ball, I'm going to come up and play defense and rotate, and we're going to try and get a double team. Great job in that run and jump, and Charleston runs it to perfection, but you got to be careful because you get a lot of fouls in that as well.
Mason weaving through the defense, and he draws the foul and go back to the free throw line.
Mo Mason just really does a nice job getting that dribble drive, able to make something happen and take it to the basket. One of the great things I love about seeing these two teams, they're not afraid to go to the hoop.
Not at all. And Maurice Mason is one of those guys. He goes to the free throw line now, shooting 71% on the season. Another thing about Mo Mason is he'll go out and check you now. He covered Verdure the other night. He ended up getting his points, Verdure did, averaging over 20 a game on the season, but in the first half, he was nearly shut down.
Yeah, and Verdure's one of the top players in the state as a junior on a very talented Lutheran North team. And, you know, Mo did a great job on Verdure, and it was fun to watch that matchup. Verdure got his in the second half. That was after James Mitchell got into some foul trouble later on in the ball game. But you know what? You love seeing that defensive matchup, and that's why Mo Mason is one of those great kids. He can do it offensively, put you 14 points, but then defensively.
A steal by Malik Collins to Ridley. Anthony Ridley has 4 on that turnover and points off the turnover. And now 5 points on the lead for Hogan Prep. Parham, a piece of the lane. It won't go. Newbill battles at 6'9". And a foul going against Charleston. Look at that last basket, Jim.
Yeah, without a doubt, and here we come. Going to grab it in transition, going to bring it down, take it strong to the basket, and that's a great thing. Does the lean in, takes it strong to the hoop. And now we've got the officials having a conversation. The foul was down on the near side here on the big man, number 33, Andrew Newbill, who's come in for Hogan Prep. And that's going to put Charleston right back to the line where they're very, very comfortable in knocking down free throws.
I thought originally that's who they were going to whistle for the foul was Andrew Newbill at 6'9" in there going over the back. But they started walking the other direction and then conferred, made the correct call. Offensive glass again. It's Carter once again doing the dirty work. And a foul in low going on Hogan Prep.
And that's why Maurice Mason's saying, let me underneath the basket, let me start checking some people out. 3 opportunities there, and that's one of the things that Charleston has not done a very good job on. They've had multiple opportunities in possession. They haven't been able to knock down a field goal, but they're getting to the line.
Jamal Gray on the free throw line. This guy just a good all-around athlete, quarterback and running back on the football team, a sprinter on the track team. You talked about the ankle injury he had, and when we were visiting with Coach Farmer, he said, you know, he had that ankle injury a few weeks ago, but he's still not totally recovered from that.
Yeah, he's still not 100%, but you know what? He's giving them minutes, he's getting them rebounds, and he's getting him points, and that's what they need.
Hogan has scored on each of their last 6 possessions, 11 points in that run, and they've vaulted out to a 4-point lead. Mason dealing off Ridley. He traveled on the right wing trying to get into the lane. That'll turn it over to Charleston.
Turnover. Now it's time to get some points off. They've got 6 points off of turnovers. so far here in the night. They want to make it 8. They need to cut this down to a one-possession game as we're coming up on the 4-minute media break.
Ridley out there checking Parham. A lot of quickness in that battle. Then a foul out front. Anthony Sherrills, the 6'1 junior, just checked in and committed that foul. And he hit Tucker. 10th team foul in the first half, so that sends Mr. Tucker to the free throw line to shoot 2. And we've talked about an 81% stroke. And Coach Steitzer just kind of leans back and not liking the looks of that, being in the double bonus, 4:44 left first half.
He's like, guys, I love the aggressiveness. That's what we teach. That's what we want to do. But we've got to be smarter right now. We can't commit fouls. You're exactly right. We're in a double bonus with 4:44 to go. That's going to give Charleston a lot of opportunity.
Tucker missing the second. Newbill the rebound. Rams off and running. Collins leaves it back for Ridley. 3-point ball game. Hogan Prep on top. Here's Ridley. Ball knocked out of bounds on the sideline, and it will stay with Hogan Prep.
Getting that aggressive man-to-man defense in the half court, doing a great job of staying in between the ball and the person that they're guarding. They do a great job in that.
Back here to Ridley. And he carried it. Turnover on Hogan Prep as they turn it over for the 8th time here in the ballgame. And timeout call. Go over to the huddle with Coach Steitzer. He said the other night they had some foul trouble early in their game against Lutheran North. And he said they missed a lot of layups. They make it to halftime. He said, I feel really lucky that we were even in the ball game. And so once again, some foul trouble. They have the lead. He's probably feeling fortunate that they're up 3 right now with 4:18 left.
Yeah, without a doubt. They're doing some good things, but they're, like I said earlier, they're playing that pressure defense, and that's great. You've got to be smart when you combine up-tempo pressure defense. You've got to make sure you're not silly and commit silly fouls. And that's kind of the trap that they've gotten into the last couple games, to where they've turned up the heat, but they're not being very smart, and they're getting some reach-in calls, some push calls. They've got to be a little bit smarter.
So Greg Tucker will trigger in, leading scorer for Charleston. And off to Parham. 3-point lead, Hogan Prep. Here's Tucker working against Sherrills in that man-to-man defense. Off to Gray. Jamal Gray tracked there by Collins. And he backs him out. Oh, he gets into the lane. Little teardrop over the top. Slams on the glass but won't go through. And Newbill clears.
How that didn't fall, I have no idea.
The laws of physics not in play on that one.
There's a frustration foul coming on the other end. Jamal Gray thought that was going to fall for him. It was actually halfway through the cylinder. It spun itself right back out and then comes down to the far side, got beat going baseline, and that's just a frustration foul.
Yeah, it just looked for all the world like that one was halfway through the goal and came up out of the goal and did not go for Jamal Gray. At the free throw line, Anthony Sherrills, another football player, running back for Hogan Prep during football season. He's coming here to Mizzou to play football, and they probably will convert him to a defensive back is what they tell me, but obviously a great athlete. So he'll end his career here on the basketball floor at Mizzou Arena, but then walk right across the street to start his football career.
And we've seen that over the last couple weeks. We saw Dorio Green Beckham last week. We also saw Ryan Rosberg from Marquette, who ended his season right here at Mizzou Arena and will coming back to play basketball here for Mizzou and Frank Haith.
Man, we thought this one was going down for sure. Are you kidding me? That one's not going? That's what Jamal Gray said back right after this. Hogan Prep up by 5 with 3:47 left here in the first half. And Jim, you do some great work with the FS Midwest Prep Zone. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it's something we started back during football season, and we had a chance to preview games throughout the state, do 4 games a week on live stream on foxsportsmidwest.com, and do a 30-minute show. Pat Harris, Scotty Warman, and myself traveled the state of Missouri, did some great 30-minute shows and talking about the kids football-wise and basketball-wise. And it's been fun, and, it's great that Jack Donovan, the general manager, and Kevin Landy and Alan Flowers, they see the importance of high school athletics and really getting a chance to showcase what these kids around the state of Missouri can do. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. But I tell you what, it's been a blast, and I know the Niles, our production company, Niles Productions, has been a major factor with that, and Steve Winkler and Winkler Productions out in the St. Louis side. Without you guys doing the production side, the 4 games every Friday night couldn't be done.
No question. And for Niles, Dan McCaffrey and Alex Smith, and guys putting in a ton of time getting that done. And we see some of these same guys playing football and basketball. And right now, Tucker at the free throw line hits the first. Brings his team to within 4. Got another one. Well, that is a sweet-looking stroke. Greg Tucker is headed to Northern Colorado to play basketball next season. And he's been a good one here at Charleston. Goes for the steal there on Ridley. Ridley trying to lob it up to Newbill. It goes out of bounds.
One thing you got to do, you get the transition, you've got to slow the pace down a little bit, especially since you've got some players out there that don't log a lot of minutes. You've got to take it back, take that step back, and set some offense.
Newbill sticks a hand in there and draws the foul. And once again, it's Tucker. Newbill getting a lot of those minutes because of the foul trouble we talked about. Wainwright and Hawkins. Broderick Newbill is on the bench over there. So Andrews had to check in and play some big minutes here. Tucker goes back to the line.
Steve Seitzer's going to go to the bench again and bring in another bench player. And you've got to be very careful at this point. You can't commit silly fouls and do silly things, especially when you want to crank it up, because once you get to that situation, you're going to put Charleston to the line. Charleston can knock you out at the line if need be.
Well, right now, they are 11 of 16 at the line, and Gregory Tucker is 6 of 8 at the line. He's got another one coming. He's got 9 points in the game. Well, he's got that stroke going now. 10 points for Tucker. There's a steal off the inbound. Parham!
Read it perfectly, was able to come down, and we're a tie ball game, tie number 3 on the night.
And Charleston out there slapping the floor. Hall's ready to take them on the defensive end.
Getting back into that run and jump that they love to do. Screen, they're going to jump over. Now watch it, rotation, shot's going to go up.
Ridley for 3! And how about this? He's 1 of 11 coming into the Final Four. That's 9%, but he shot it like he knew it. Tucker, on the other hand, has been shooting him his entire career, and he buries one right back at him.
You know what? Just put the starter's gun up and say, all right, here we go, boys, because that's what we're going to have the rest of the way. People knocking down shots, playing great defense, making some clutch shots.
Oh, they turn him over. Tied at 27 once again. And here's that steal by Parham.
He did a great job in reading right there, able to come up and see it, and then he come down the other way, knocks down to 3 after a great job defensively, and then Tucker, 3, up, knocks it down. Unbelievable sequence of plays right there.
All right, Greg Tucker has 12. I'm not sure they called that one a 3 ball. And so we are tied at 27. Parham will trigger in for Charleston.
Not sure what the discussion is between the coaches and the officials. Not sure where the discrepancy was coming from.
Well, we're playing on. And Tucker has it, working against Broderick Newbill, who's checked back in there for Hogan Prep. Parham squeezes through the defense, knocked out of bounds, and that one will stay with Charleston.
We didn't talk a lot about Ryan Parham because he's a kid, he does the little things for you, doesn't get the recognition, but he's going to play great D. He's going to go after the loose balls. and he's going to drive to the basket.
I like his game. 5 assists he averages per game on the season. He's their floor general. He's got a good three-stroke as well, 40% from the three-line. His dad, talking about Ryan Parham, number 20, getting ready to trigger it in. His dad, Leonard Corbett, was on the 33-0 state championship team back in 1990. And that's part of the history, the long history of this Charleston program. Deal it back, down the lane goes Hull, and he got one. Hull has 8 points in the first half.
Great job in penetration. Took it to the basket. Gotta love these teams attacking the basket right now.
2-point lead for Charleston. And Hull is all up in. The ball handler, Anthony Ridley. Here's Mason. Dealing it back. Shot up over the defense there by Rashid Ewing. And a foul down low. Will they count it? They will for Mason.
With the foul trouble that the Rams have right now, Maurice Mason has got to be the go-to guy. Looking and working hard. Turns the wrong way, realizes, he says, you know what? I'm just going to twist in the wind and throw it up there. And sure enough, he got fouled, made the basket, go to the line for the traditional three-point play.
19th foul on Charleston, and at the line, Maurice Mason. And Maurice has 10 points in the basketball game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He will fill up your stat sheet in all categories, and he leads the way with 11 points in the ball game after the three-point play. Back to a 1-point lead for the Rams of Hogan Prep. Going strong, and one, Sumner Foster, 6'1" sophomore.
We're seeing kids step up on the big stage and making plays, and Sumner Foster really does a nice job. Takes it in, able to get a crease and split it, and takes it strong to the basket. A sophomore that doesn't get a lot of minutes, really doing a great job for the Blue Jays and Danny Farmer.
His first 2 points of the game, he averages about 5 a game and 2 rebounds a game on the season. Hadn't stroked it too well from the line this season, though. 41% from the free throw line, 7 of 17. 1:23 left here in the first half. Rebound, Broderick Newbill. Here comes Ridley. Up the floor to Newbill. Going baseline on the fall-away and got caught. Jumped in the air with no place to go and came down and traveled.
Got to know where you're at all times, and plus you've got to know where your teammates are. And he kind of lost track at that point right there. Got his foot down on the ground. Good call by the officials.
Here's Tucker. Leaves it over for Foster again. Deals it off to Crushon Scott. And a traveling call.
You know what? That's great work right there. He traveled before the foul. The two officials came together and saw that we had the travel before the foul. Great work. Once again, I mentioned this earlier today, Neil, we're seeing the best officials in the state of Missouri work in these championship games. These guys are evaluated. They're ranked by the coaches, and that's why they're here, and they're doing a great job this weekend.
Yeah, they really have all weekend long. And up the floor, they work it. This is Williams letting her fly. Shot no good. Rebound on the weak side by Parham, and he starts the break to Tucker. And another foul. You notice how he's so subtle with his moves as he slashes through there. Nobody ever gets a clean shot at him. And that's why he goes to the line so often.
Because you really don't know what direction he's going to go. He's very subtle when he changes directions, and that's a really great key for him. Because you really don't know if he's going to go left or if he's going to cross over and go to his right. Very subtle. That's a lot of time in the gymnasium and a lot of practice.
And did this game fall right into his hands on what he likes to do, which is score and get to the line? How about this in the first half? 8 for 10 from the free throw line.
Attacking the basket, that's what you've got to love. I wish more kids would do that. They've got the ability, and they know that one of their strengths is the free throw line. Use that to your ability, use that to your advantage, and attack the basket.
Charleston has made 14 of 20 free throws, and a turnover by Hogan Prep. Hogan is 4 for 9 from the line, so a big advantage there. There goes Tucker. Shot it too strong. On the weak side glass was Williams. And a foul on Charleston. I think they got Tucker.
Yeah, not sure who they got, but bodies were flying all over the place down on the baseline. And they're actually going to grab Darion Carter on the foul for the Blue Jays. So they're finally going to go to the line for only the 5th time on the evening.
Well, 4 for 9 from the free throw line, so they are trailing in that category. 14 makes from the line for Charleston and only 4 makes in the ballgame for Hogan Prep. Williams would like to fix that a little bit here as he hits the first one. He is 68% on the season, the 5'10 junior, Dominique Williams.
This is going to be a game to where you're going to have to convert from the line. Bottom line is, you know you're going to go there. You know you're going to get fouled. You got to knock the free throws down.
Oh, he was strong there. 2 free throws for Williams. 1-point lead for Charleston. Parham up over the top and scoring.
Role player, making it big on the big stage. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, he's a leader, another captain on this team, even though he's a junior. And there's a foul inside going on Charleston. And I think they hit Carter up with this foul, and that's number 3 if it is. There goes Parham.
Parham on the transition, takes it to the basket, does a great job. Other end, they come down in transition, and they get the block call.
Actually, it was on Foster on the foul. And back to the line, Dominique Williams. He's hit 3 straight free throws in 11 minutes the other night in the semifinals against Lutheran North. He had 4 points and 3 rebounds. And with 16 left, brings his team to within 1.
Doing the little things, knocking down the free throws. You're keeping your team close.
Hall deals it off to Tucker, double teamed in the corner. Dribbles out of it. Now to Hall. Hall, a piece of the lane, the teardrop, but he traveled.
Got that little step right before he put the ball down. They're going to get you on that every time, and the officials have been very consistent on that all year long.
2.2 left, a steal there by Tucker. It'll stay with Hogan Prep, 0.4 left. Well, that nearly turned into a layup for Gregory Tucker. And Mason, nobody started the clock, but that's the end of your first half. Another track meet, another up-tempo game, just the way Coach Farmer likes it and the way Coach Steitzer likes it. And right now it's Charleston on top, 35-34.
Great first half of basketball for Charleston.
And let's throw it over to Sophia.
Coach Farmer shooting just 30% from the field, but Tucker and Parham are getting to the line already. 20 free throw attempts at the line. What's working for you guys offensively?
Well, that's what's working for us offensively. We need to make our free throws. You know, hopefully we'll start clicking this third quarter offensively, but as long as we keep playing defense, we're going to be fine.
It seemed like you guys really dialed up the pressure there in the last 3-4 minutes of that second quarter. Any difference there with the press?
Yeah, well, that's what we want. We want a fast-paced game, and we feel if it come down to the last man standing, we're going to have more people.
All right, any adjustments for the second half, Coach?
We need to make our shots.
All right, that easy, guys. Just make the shots.
That's a good one. And every coach wants them to make their shots. Coach Farmer, what a calming influence, a great coach. He's been in these title games on the girls' side and also on the boys' side. He knows what he's talking about.
It takes a special guy to coach girls. That's what I coached for many years back in Ohio. I know what that's all about, but he does a great job, and he's right. He's not mincing words. We got to knock down shots, but you know what? He's up 1 in the state championship game against a team that has got their number over the last couple years.
Yeah, last season Hogan Prep beat them, and Charleston trying to get them back, but this season in the title game. And we'll take a break here at halftime. It's a 1-point game here at halftime. Charleston on top in the Class 3 Boys State Championship game. Great action from Mizzou Arena here in Columbia. And we'll be back right after this.
distracted driving. It accounts for 25% of car crashes. Music, cell phones, food, the list goes on.
This is why safe driving is so important.
Correct.
And it's why the best agents help safe drivers get a lower rate.
Exactly.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
We've got a good one going in the final game of the day, 35-34. Charleston on top in a game that both teams want to run. They both want to push the pace. That's what we saw here in the first half. We went back and forth, had a few ties, and finally Charleston leading by 1 here at halftime. But it's been a fun game to watch. A lot of athletes, a lot of foul trouble out there on the floor right now, especially Hogan Prep.
Yeah, with Hogan Prep, a lot of situations that you've got to avoid. And once again, you get in that full court man. You turn up the pressure, it's feast or famine. You got to be smart when you do it. If you're not, you're going to get yourself in foul trouble. And right now, Hogan Prep's on the wrong end of the foul situation. They're going to have to be very careful starting the third quarter because they got a couple guys saddled with 3 fouls that are going to have to come in and log some minutes. Steve Seitzer does not like to go deep into his bench. And that's one thing that he's had to do in the first half. Tell you what, though, they're only down 1. Those kids are doing a great job in coming in and giving some valuable minutes here in the state championship game.
Yeah, really, it's a lot like the ball game they played in the semifinals the other night. They were down 1 and they had the foul trouble, so very similar situation. And right now, here at halftime, let's throw it back over to Sophia.
Here I am standing by with MSHSAA Executive Director Dr. Kerwin Urdhan. Kerwin, it's been a phenomenal tournament here. We are in our final half of the 2012 MSHSAA Show Me Showdown. Tell us about the 2 weekends, Class 4 and 5 last weekend, and here Class 1, 2, and 3.
Well, this wraps up the 40th game in 2 weekends, and so it's been a great venue, great atmosphere for 2 weekends of some fantastic basketball. The games today have been very hard fought. They've all come down to the wire, and so we expect the same thing tonight for this last game. You know, you can't get much closer than what we are right now.
Next year, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to switch the order of the tournament. We're going to bring in classes 1, 2, and 3 for the first weekend of the Show Me Showdown, and we'll finish up with classes 4 and 5. What was the basis of MSHSAA's decision to switch up the classes?
We talked to our member schools and asked them what they wanted to do with the weekends, because in our smaller schools, class 1, 2, and 3, many of those kids play spring sports. And because the championships are later, it really made it difficult for those kids to walk off the basketball court onto the baseball fields or the tracks. And so to try to alleviate that and help with that, the smaller classifications will go first next year, with the larger classifications going the second weekend.
And no rest for the weary for these athletes or for your MSHSAA staff. Our spring sports are starting on Monday.
Actually, Sophia, they actually started Friday, and so we may have had some stuff over the weekend, but they're going. We had people play games already, and we'll start in with our state speech and debate. Will be our first thing in activities the 3rd week of April, so it gets going quickly.
Highlights for the spring season coming up here?
We'll begin with our speech and debate, then we'll go into next the music, then to Scholar Bowl, and then we start hitting our sports. It's track, it's soccer, it's baseball, and so we just run the gamut and finish with the tennis as well. So it's a fun spring and it's a busy spring.
All right, well, thank you so much, Kerwin, to you and your staff for putting on a great event as always. Guys, we got a lot more sports to cover. I hope you're not tired.
Well, thanks, Sophia. And Jim, Kerwin and the staff have a lot going on, and they've done a great job with this tournament.
Yeah, they do, and he's got a great support staff. And Kerwin's been here on the scene now for 4 years and really has just done a fantastic job in raising the level of how the sports are administered here in the state of Missouri. Becky Oakes was here. His predecessor did a great job, but Kerwin has really taken a lot of things along with his board of directors and ran with them, and you've seen a lot of great changes, a new website, the way things are brought to folks, what we do here with the media. I mean, it's just been a lot of fun, and Kerwin's just done an outstanding job in spearheading and making those changes. It's been a lot of fun.
And they got a lot of work ahead, obviously, to close out the school year.
No doubt.
Let's take a look at those first half highlights. Jim, take it away.
It's Maurice Mason for Hogan Prep, able to get that little baseline drive and knock down the teardrop jumper. And once again in transition and come down, he's going to bury the three from the right wing. He's been the player right now for Hogan Prep, and also getting a little bit of fish dish and put it down on that little control jumper, fading back and doing a great job. Now we're looking at the defense, and here comes Charleston, and it's been starting and stopping with Ryan Parham, kid that we did not expect to talk a lot about tonight, but Parham has really done an outstanding job for Danny Farmer and the Blue Jays, getting transition, getting the steal, doing the dirty work, getting the board, putting it back up and in on the offensive side. One of the big things for Charleston stat-wise, 14 offensive boards. Ryan Parham has done an outstanding job in doing a great thing. He's got a couple of them, but he's also been very key just doing the dirty work and playing some great defense.
Yeah, Ryan Parham, one of the leaders on this team for Charleston, and they lead it by 1 at halftime. You're watching Show Me Showdown 2012.
Distracted driving. It accounts for 25% of car crashes. Music, cell phones, food, the list goes on.
This is why safe driving is so important.
Correct.
And it's why the best agents help safe drivers get a lower rate.
Exactly.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to Mizzou Arena. Take a look at those halftime stats. Big shooting disparity there in the field goal percentages, but look at the free throw line.
Free throw line has been very good for Charleston, 14 of 20. Hogan started off 1 of 6 from the line, but since then, 7 of 7. Field goal percentage, 55 to 32, but the big key for Hogan Prep, they've only shot 22 times tonight, so that's why their percentage is where it at. But the one thing, points off of turns, Charleston's converting and doing a great job.
Yeah, 31 shots in the game for Charleston versus 22 for Hogan Prep. They get those more looks because of the turnover advantage and also the rebound advantage.
No doubt about it. In the last 11 possessions, Charleston 16 points, doing a fantastic job over the last 3:37.
Let's throw it over to Sophia. Sophia, take it away.
Coach Seitzer, foul trouble coming out of that first half. 3 players with 2 fouls. How do you handle this coming into the second half?
Well, I mean, I think, the score being what it is, being down by 1 with the three stars out in foul trouble the whole first half, I think we'll be all right, hopefully. The bench come in, a lot of guys had to step up. They just outplayed us in the second quarter.
You said it was going to be a seesaw game. It has proven to be that. What's going to be the difference here in the second half?
Well, I think if we keep our guys out of foul trouble and keep them on the floor, we still got to go right at them at the boards and try to drive the ball inside.
They've been attacking in the paint, getting to the line often. How do you try to manage that?
Again, not having the stars in the game, a lot of guys are playing out of position a little bit, and this is the big game.
All right, well, Coach, good luck in the second half.
All right, thanks, Sophia and Coach Steitzer. And there's a turnover on Hogan Prep. And you know what? Sophia Minard's done a great job all week as well. I mean, editing highlights, doing all of our interviews, asking great questions of everybody. How many interviews do you think she's done this week?
She's done a phenomenal job, and she's been battling a little bit of the cold bug as well. So Sophia really done a great job being here all weekend long with you and me and Corey and Coach, and it's just been a lot of fun watching her work and really getting some great insight from the coaches, from the MSHSAA staff, and also some great human interest stories about some of the kids that you may not normally get to hear about.
Yeah, no question, and playing hurt. Nice job, Sophia. Another turnover. Here's Mason, went around his world to get to the lane, and now it's Wainwright back in there with those 2 fouls, and he gets one to go after the pump fake.
You sit on the bench with some foul trouble. The first thing you want to do when you get back in the game, you want to make something happen, and that's what Wainwright did. He got a nice little jumper, came off the screen, and was able to knock it down.
And again, the coaching staff just says, oh, Tucker from way downtown has 17 points now. I was talking about Wainwright. They say he plays big in big games, which he did the other night, but Tucker's playing real big with 17, and there's an offensive foul going on Hogan Prep. It looks like it's going to be on Newbill.
Got the shoulder down and just tuck it and try to get to the hoop to create separation. But here's Tucker, comes off that high screen, sets up, knocks it down. Gotta love working off the screens. That's the mark of a great shooter. You work off of that screen, you're able to get the separation, square up, and take that nice long-range jumper.
When I watched Tucker the other night for the first time, I wrote this down. I said, can't give him an inch.
No.
He will pull the trigger on the 3 ball, and you can't give him an inch on the dribble drive, or he'll take it into the lane and score on you. And if it doesn't happen there, he'll draw the foul and go to the line.
There's not a shot he doesn't like when it comes to his half-court shooting.
Back to Mason, met there by Parham. 2-point lead in the ball game for Charleston. Ridley launches a 3, too strong. Newbill flies in for the putback.
You gotta love Broderick Newbill. He gets 5.1 rebounds a game and does a nice job, just glides in, able to get position and get the rebound and put it back up and in.
Slashy smooth. Broderick Newbill, 6'6" senior, getting a lot of looks at the Division I level right now. Is Hogan Prep in a zone? Looks like they are. Down low, they leave it for Gray, who lays it in.
Sometimes you jump into a zone when you're getting beat on the boards, and that's kind of what happened right now with Hogan Prep, is they're getting beat, so they're just jamming in right now.
Mason for 3. He's got 14.
Mo Mason's feeling it right now on the offensive end, but so is this young man, Ryan Parham, in transition.
Oh, right back at you, though. Here comes Wainwright.
Unbelievable. We're seeing transition baskets. We're seeing great offensive moves. We're seeing these kids go after it. They want a state championship very badly in Class 3.
What did Kerwin say? We're getting ready to start track? I think we already started it.
I think the officials put the starter's gun up to start the second half and started this thing without inbounding it.
43-42, Hogan Prep. And a foul out high, and this one's going to be on Wainwright. That is number 3 on Ahmad Wainwright.
I don't think you have to panic just yet, Neil. He's got 3 fouls. There's 5 minutes to go. You know, you got to ride the course, but what Wainwright's got to do is he's got to know, I've got to be smart. And that could be the other reason why Steve Steitzer went to the zone. Because he had to protect a couple of the kids that he's got in foul trouble.
Looks like they're back to a man-to-man now. And Wainwright is checking Tucker. That's a handful, especially with those 3 fouls. They go down low to Parham. He had sealed off nicely on the block. And how about him posting up the 5'10 junior, Ryan Parham.
We talked a little bit earlier today during the first game in Class 2 about using your body and posting up and getting great position. And right there, Ryan Parham did an outstanding job in getting position. He just did it again in getting great position.
And remember, Ridley's only 5'6", so even though Parham's just 5'10", he's got 4 inches on Ridley.
Danny Farmer's seeing the mismatch down there, and they're going right at it. Not a lot of coaches will do that, but Danny Farmer, the veteran coach, knows what to do. Mismatch, I'm going to go to it, and you see that they've swapped it out. They've got Parham being checked down there by Anthony Ridley.
Leaves it back for Tucker. On the take. Nice little dump off inside and one. The bucket goes for Charleston. Krushan Scott.
Nice job once again. Great position. Look at it. Got the seal. Put it down. Took it up. Got that little head fake in the mix and double pumped and put it in for the traditional two. Looking for the three and off the front iron.
Can't complete the three-point play, but he hit the big 2 free throws that put them into the title game the other night against Mount Vernon. Ridley flying in there, and that's a defensive foul on Krushan Scott. He picks up the 3rd foul of the game, his 3rd personal, 2nd team foul in the second half on Charleston.
That's a 50-50 call. That time leaning back just a little bit. They're going to get that real close. 50-50 calls right there on a block charge. One of the toughest calls for an official that are out there.
And Ridley's got some bounce to him. Shoot, I thought he was going to jump over the top of Krushan Scott when he took off. And he gets the first one to go. He has 8 points in the ball game and is handled nicely on the perimeter for Coach Steitzer and Hogan Prep.
We knew tempo was going to be a big key, and it hasn't disappointed. Both these teams are getting after it. We knew both coaches were going to welcome an up-tempo game, and that's exactly what we're getting right now.
And once again, we're tied at 44. Tucker leaves it for Parham. Swings it over to Hall. Launches a three. Michael Hall.
I had a great angle. Neil sitting right there. As soon as it left his hands, I'm like, I think that's going in. And sure enough, bangs the bottom of the net.
Online the entire way. Newbill right back at him with a 3-ball.
Unbelievable. This is anything you can do, I could do better. And that's what these guys are playing right now. 3-ball down here, 3-ball on the other end.
Gray in the middle. He banks that one home from dead on.
Gray saying the bank's open late night here in Columbia. Knocks it down off the glass.
Here's Ridley. 2-point lead for Charleston. Off to Mason. Mason with 14 points, the 6'2 senior. Ridley launching that one from deep. Rebound there for Gray.
Little double team up front by Charleston. Forced him into a shot that I don't think that he wanted. Charleston with an opportunity to take a 4-point lead. They need a good possession.
Work it inside to Carter, but he traveled.
Took that step around, lost track of where his foot was, tried to spin it around.
We've got timeout on the floor. The pace is fast at Mizzou Arena. You're watching Show Me Showdown. This MSHSAA State Championship game is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. A lot of fouls out there.
33 combined between the two teams, and that just shows they're aggressive. They're doing some great things. They're kicking up the pressure. But once again, Hogan Prep is on the backside of that to where they've got some of their kids in foul trouble, and they need to be a little bit smarter.
Mason out high, off to Ridley. 2-point lead for Charleston. Tries to whip a pass to Wainwright, who's back in there with those 3 fouls. Ahmad tosses out top to Mo Mason, and he draws the foul on the perimeter. Boy, that's a good matchup there between he and Parham.
when you get two players like that, one's a slasher, and you've got a defensive player that is quick and uses his feet very well, it's a great matchup, and that just is going to cause some hand check issues, and that's what happened right there.
Well, and Tucker and Mason have matched up a little bit as well, but right now it's Hall on him. Here goes Ridley on Parham. Back to Newbill. Approaching 2 minutes to play, third quarter. Ridley dumps it off. Wainwright misses. Just to the left of the bucket there, and here comes Parham.
Both teams just doing a great job with their matchups. Both coaches really working their matchups to their advantage and really seeing some nice even matches. But there you go. Wainwright picks up his fourth.
Boy, that is big. The sophomore, 6'3". Ahmad Wainwright will sit down. You know, his brother, Ishmael Wainwright, is an outstanding player in his own right. He is at Montrose in Maryland. He had verbally committed to come here to Mizzou, but has since taken that back, and he's going to reassess. And there's a foul on Hogan Prep as you look there at Ahmad Wainwright.
Yeah, it's right now not good for Hogan Prep on the foul-wise and taking a seat, and going to have to go over to the benches. Anthony Ridley for Hogan Prep, and you play that aggressive style. It's feast or famine like we talked about earlier, Neil. You've got to play smart. Now we're going to go to the line shooting the bonus with 2:13 in the third quarter.
And Parham, 63% on the season from the line. And the one thing I like about Parham, he's always got his head up. He can penetrate, get into that lane. 5 assists a game on the season, but he really finishes his shot at the goal with either hand, and he gets one out of the 2 free throws here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a mark of a great offensive player.
Newbill takes it in strong and draws the foul. So they got it out of there quickly and got it up to their 6'6" senior, Broderick Newbill.
Newbill has been that quiet leader once again that we've talked about all night long. Does a lot of great things, leading the team in scoring with 20 points a game, and he loves to attack the basket just like he did right there.
Newbill had 17 points in the state title game last season when they won it. They beat Stafford 61-46, and now tonight they try to defend their state title. He's at the free throw line here, shooting 61% on the season.
This game is very similar to the semifinal game the other night for Hogan Prep. They trailed most of the way, got themselves in foul trouble, but then was able to turn the corner midway through the fourth quarter using pressure D and knocking down shots.
Newbill now with 10 points in the ball game. 2-point lead for the Blue Jays of Charleston. Inside 2 to play, third quarter. Glad to have you with us here at Show Me Showdown. Along with Jim Powers, this is Neil Harwell. Rebound there by Gray. Kicks it back out high. Hull offers a 3. Gray still on that offensive glass and keeping it alive for the Blue Jays, but they throw it away. And Coach Farmer having a fit after that one.
Knew he had the opportunity, had a couple Hogan Prep players bailing out all over the place, and just an unforced error. You can't have it with a 2-point lead late in the period.
Especially after his guy Jamal Gray working so hard to keep it alive. Mason drawing the foul on Parham. That'll be foul number 3 on Ryan Parham.
Parham trying to get position, not able to, catch up and got that little reach in. Parham doing a great job for the Blue Jays as a junior.
Actually, they gave that one to Tucker. That's his first personal foul.
That's amazing. Greg Tucker, the player, for Charleston, that's only his first foul, and we're almost through 3 quarters.
And he's the guy shooting all the foul shots. Oh, stolen away by Gray. They have a 3-on-1 to Tucker. And he's going to go to the line again.
Attacking the basket, going straight through it in transition. Here's the steal. Here's the transition. Tucker's just going to take it. I tell you what, great job coming down in transition by Malik Collins. Almost got the tie up. Just got a little bit of the arm.
Yeah, he wanted it. He had the thumbs up there. But it's Greg Tucker back to the line. 9 of 11. Make it 9 of 12 from the free throw line. 17 points in the game. He said he's so thankful they won that game the other night in the semifinals that he gets another chance to play in a Blue Jay uniform after they beat Mount Vernon, and here he is tonight. The senior leader headed to Northern Colorado next season. A foul out front, and this one is on Parham. That is his third personal foul, and the 6th team foul on Charleston.
You know, you got to love kids like that, and when they know that this is their last game in that uniform, especially a young man like Greg Tucker. He's meant so much to Danny Farmer and the Blue Jay program.
And I think he was on the sideline. Mason was. That turns it over. Checking into the ball game, Trey Watkins for Coach Farmer. The Blue Jays are up by 3. Inside 1 minute to play now, just inside 1 minute to play.
That's
third quarter.
Great substitution right there by Coach Farmer. That way he can keep Parham safe with 3 fouls. That way he doesn't do anything silly the last minute of the quarter.
Tucker working against Mason. Well, that's a great matchup there.
This is a fun one that I've been waiting to see for a while in this ballgame, seeing the two best players on the floor going at each other.
Tucker going strong and scoring.
Trey Tucker just has it all. He can drive, he can slash, throws up that little teardrop, he can attack the basket, and he's got the long-range jumper.
And he has 20 points in the ballgame to lead all scorers. Here's Mason. Lobs it inside on the follow-away, Dominic Williams. And pulled away there by Tucker. Up the floor, they work it. Here goes Gray.
Transition, get the rebound, get it and go. The Blue Jays trying to put this game out of reach here in the latter part of the period.
Newbill lost it out of bounds, 3.6 left, but a little run here by the Blue Jays, and they lead it by 7.
They're doing some things that they want to do. Hogan Prep, foul trouble, got some kids out on the floor that they don't normally have out there in this situation.
And this is the largest lead of the game for Charleston. Tucker fires, and that's the end of 3. 7-point lead for Charleston. Here we go, Jimmy. Last call. What do you say? We head to the last quarter of the day with Charleston on top. Back right after this.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Welcome back as we head to fourth quarter action. We kind of reset our score there as the Blue Jays win that quarter by 6 and they lead the ball game by 7.
But the biggest thing right now is foul trouble. Charleston, Carter, Parham, and Scott all with 3. You flip the page, Ridley, Wainwright with 4, Broderick Newbill, and Jonathan Hawkins with 3. That's not the groupings that you like if you're Coach Sitzler, because you've got to run some people out there that you wouldn't have in this situation playing when you're down 7 and chasing.
Yeah, Coach Steitzer had to play with that foul trouble the other night as well. Here's Tucker pulling up and scoring. They got to find the answer to stopping that guy. 22 for Tucker.
And we're going to get a quick timeout. Maurice Mason's going to have to probably step out. They're going to have to make him guard Tucker because Tucker is just really doing anything he wants to.
We'll take timeout with him. It's a 9-point lead, largest of the game for Charleston. You're watching Show Me Showdown. 9-point lead for Charleston. Greg Tucker, you can't give him an inch.
The recruit for Northern Colorado just doing a lot of great things. Neal sets his shoulders, knocks down the three, gets the shooter's roll, able to come around. Once again, sets up, knocks down the three this time, hits the bottom of the bucket, but also drive, pull up, jumper, knocks it down. Greg Tucker is leading the way right now for the Blue Jays.
And don't forget the free throw line. He's 10 of 13 from the line tonight for Charleston. Charleston has attempted over 10 more field goals. They've attempted 41 to 31. Wainwright going in there that time, and he'll go to the free throw line as he drives it in there strong and draws the foul on Charleston.
Another 50-50 call that time, and once again,
Crucian
on the wrong edge of that 50-50 call, and that's going to be his fourth foul.
Fourth foul on Crucian Scott. But back to the point, Charleston has taken 10 more field goal attempts, and they've attempted 8 more free throws. So they've done that by going hard on the offensive glass and also in the turnover category.
And the thing where Hogan Prep, and you normally would see them in the 40s to 50 shot range right about now, but 31 shots, number one, it's what Charleston is doing to them defensively. They're getting their hands in the passing lanes. They're making it very difficult for them to get clean looks and even get a look right now.
Yeah, Hogan Prep has shot 55% from the field. Just haven't gotten enough shots off compared with Charleston, and Wainwright hits the second free throw. And Ahmad Wainwright now has 9 points in the ballgame, and he's out there playing with those 4 fouls. Nearly stolen there, and a foul going on Mason.
Mason going after the steal, loose ball. Just got himself underneath, and they're going to catch him for the push foul, and it's going to be, once again, stepping to the free throw line, number 30 for Charleston.
He ought to just pitch a tent over there at the line, talking about Tucker.
He's at home right there. He's been doing a great job, and once again, it's all that hard work at practice, after practice, making sure he's the guy that gets the last shot at the line to win the ball game.
Full night of work for Tucker. 23 points. He averages over 20 a game on the season. And he's got 2 from the free throw line. 24 points for Greg Tucker, the senior, a captain on this team. Ridley deals it off to Mason. On the step back, offensive foul.
Good job once again. We saw it earlier in the game when it won against Charleston. You get that forearm out to try and create space, you're going to get rang up every time, and that's what Maurice Mason did. Just tried to get that little clear out. They got him on it.
Coach Steitzer's team just a little out of sync over the last couple of minutes, but you know they've got another run left in them. Hull from outside. Hits the side of the glass, but Parham is right there. Off to Jamal Gray and back out to Parham. And now Tucker, Mr. Free Throw, 12 of 15 from the line tonight. Going to work again, driving hard, drawing another foul, and he's back to the line.
Once again, Charleston doing what they want to do right now. They're attacking the basket. Greg Tucker takes it in, works against, the number 1 player, Broderick Newbill, able to take it strong to the rack. He's going back to the line. Danny Farmer made the comment to us yesterday, Neil, there isn't a team in the state of Missouri that can play 32 minutes with us. We're deep, we know how to play, and we're going to go after you. And right now, with 6:35 to go, that statement is very true, and you can see how they're just wearing down Hogan Prep.
In a number of ways.
Yes.
Attrition with the foul trouble going on out there. You're going to see some guys fouling out of here in a little bit as they try to track guys like Tucker, who now has 26 in the ball game. And a foul out front going on Jamal Gray, and Mason will step to the free throw line.
And both teams now in the bonus, so we're going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Once again, aggressiveness, trying to get it. Mason's going to go to the line to shoot 1-and-1. If you're Hogan Prep, you got to knock down your free throws. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Now Mason's the guy they want on that line, 71% on the season. Great clutch player, leader on this team. He'll be playing for somebody next season, the 6'2 senior. strokes the first one home. And Coach Steitzer, as they try to defend their state championship from a season ago, if they can get the flow going again, we know this team has got another run in them as we head down the stretch. 16 now for Mo Mason.
They've got the explosiveness, they got the offensive firepower, they can play the defense, but they've got to be smart defensively.
And they're trapping. Hull from outside, 3-ball too strong. Parham runs down the rebound.
Cannot do that if you're Hogan Prep. You cannot give Charleston multiple opportunities on possessions.
28 rebounds to 20 in the ball game. Charleston on top in that category. A lot of times it's been on the offensive glass. Tucker laid it up short, and here's a run out. Ahead of the pack, Newbill.
Tucker knew he lost control of the ball. Newbill was able to get the run out, put the points up on the board. Back to under 10. They've got opportunity, but they got to keep playing smart defensively.
Newbill with a dozen. Parham trapped on the wing, comes out of there, deals it off to Jamal Gray right down central.
I love watching Ryan Parham play. He scores, but he sees the open man coming down the lane.
Collins short on the 3-ball. Parham the rebound. And Collins draws the foul as he tries to get it back.
Going to take a look at it now, and once again, able to come down Parham baseline drive, but he sees Gray coming through the lane, wide open, and gets him the ball. That's the mark of a great point guard right there.
And just like always, piling up the assist. He has 6 assists in the ball game here tonight, averaging 5 a game on the season. And Parham also has 6 rebounds in the game. And he hits his first free throw. 10 points in the ball game.
You're getting contributions from your point guard when he can score, when he can distribute, and he's doing some dirty work for you down in the big land of the trees. That's what the mark of a great player is.
Missing the second. Here comes Hogan Prep. Wainwright hanging, missing. Newbill on the putback. Right there for the tip at 6'6", the senior.
You got to keep going, but right now you've got to start stringing some stops together, and here comes the full court pressure. Got it, and they're going to have another foul on Hogan Prep. And that's going to be the 5th, it looks like, on number 20, Broderick Newbill.
Here's that last tip in by Newbill. And they're going to play the rest of the way without their leading scorer, the 6'6" senior, Broderick Newbill, who averages over 20 points and over 5 rebounds a game. And what a great career he had here at Hogan Prep. But it's just been that kind of a night. I mean, he fouls out. On the floor, they still have 2 guys with 4 fouls, Wainwright and Ridley, and 2 guys with 3 fouls in Mason and Collins. Yeah. And at the line, this is Hull.
There's big trouble right now on the horizon for Hogan Prep. They're trying to get back into this thing, but when you got foul trouble all over the place and kids that don't normally get playing time in crunch time, you got to hope those kids can grow up right now and play like men.
Pump fake Collins, off the glass, no. Tip try, Williams, no. And here comes Charleston. Ahead to Hull. Dealing off Tucker. Rebound Ridley, and a foul on Charleston. And that's their 9th team foul, so this is still a 1-and-1 situation for Ridley. 4th personal foul on Darion Carter.
Going to go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. And once again, you've got to knock down the shots when the clock's not running. You're trailing by double digits. You need to hit these free throws, keep yourself in the ballgame. There's still a lot of time. Hogan Prep still can make that run. They've got to be smart, but they've got to knock down the free throws just like Ridley did on his first one.
Oh, absolutely. Plenty of time left in this ballgame at 4:37 left. And Ridley at the line, one of those guys with 4 personal fouls here in the ballgame, the 5'6" junior. Ridley has 5 assists of his own in this ballgame. And he jumps in there and nearly got the rebound. He does for Hogan. They'll keep it from underneath their own hoop.
Great work coming off the free throw line. He saw that he was going to miss it. Came off high enough to where he was able to crash and tipped it out of bounds, but it came off for Charleston.
quickly to Wainwright. Hovering, and it's short on the shot. Rebound Carter. Carter and Crucian Scott both have 4 fouls now for Charleston. And that's a goaltend down there.
Yeah, it's a goaltend. Definitely got the ball when it was coming in the downward path. We'll take a look at it right now in transition. Jumper goes up. Absolutely no question about it. Great vertical, though, by Wainwright. He got up very quickly. Some great jump.
Give that bucket to Gray. Rebound Tucker. Quickly Parham. Ahead of the pack is Gray. What a look from Parham.
They're running their transition to perfection. Great diagonal pass down the floor. Able to find the open man, and they're converting that 3-on-2 beautifully.
And the lead is 13. Wrigley short on the shot. And a foul on Mason. That's number 4 on Maurice Mason. And Charleston will head to the other end to shoot free throws again.
Once again, knocking down the free throws and getting transition. Charleston just having their way and doing anything they want to do. Coming down, you see the miss, and here comes the push right there by Mason on the rebound. And you can see Ryan Parham, he's starting to feel it for the Blue Jays.
And Hull with the first free throw. Well, Parham, take a look at his line tonight. He might mess around and get a triple-double here the way it's going. 10 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. We'll take timeout. It's now a 15-point lead for Charleston. You're watching Show Me Showdown 2012.
Agents, what did we learn here today?
That lint balls are extremely flammable.
Well, yeah.
And that 15,000 dryer fires happen every year. That's why it's important to regularly clean and inspect your vents.
Correct.
Where did you get that?
I built it.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum.
Jim, you got your sneakers? You might need to get out there, man. Nobody's going to be left to play.
Yeah, there's a lot of foul trouble now creeping up on both sides. Carter and Scott with 4. Kessel, Parham, and Gray for Charleston all with 3. Roger Hugo fouled out, but then you've got Wainwright, Ridley, and Mason all with 4, and then 2 players with 3. What does Hogan Prep need to do? They got to play aggressive, but they've got to be smart.
Mason gets all the way to the rim, can't get it to go. Oh, and one for Malik Collins. Somehow, he picked it up down low and snuck it through there for the hoop and one.
Collins gets it right there. Comes off the missed shot, gets the scrum, takes it up, knocks it down. Going to try and get to 3, and that's going to foul out number 52, Crucian Scott for Charleston.
Crucian Scott leaves with 2 points, 3 rebounds. He hit his only shot he took. He does a lot of that dirty work for Coach Farmer. And Collins cleans up that 3-point play. And it's a 12-point ball game.
Still time. Still can do some things, but you've got to get some stops.
But again, all these guys have fouls. Parham and a foul down low. The foul's going to go on Hogan Prep. It'll be on Williams. That's his second personal foul as both teams in the double bonus.
Free throw shooting contest the rest of the way for both these two clubs. And stepping to the line is going to be the junior Ryan Parham, 63% shooter on the year.
What a night of work for Parham. Misses the first. Only 2 for 5 now from the free throw line, but 10 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. And really has controlled the basketball game from his point guard position. He and Tucker are really the guys that handle out on the perimeter most of the time, and he gets the second one to go. Has 11 points. Ridley. Rebound Gray. Off to Parham. Now to Tucker. And they have got the ball where they want it. Around to Watkins. Charleston on top by 13, and Coach Farmer wants a timeout. This will be a short timeout. And while we take this break, what a fantastic job by the Niles Media Group crew all week. I mean, these guys have put in all kinds of time and effort on the webcast, on these games throughout the day. 6 games on television today. Guys like Dan McCaffrey, who's played hurt the last couple of weeks, banging his head, and Alex Smith and Chuck Jackson. Man, just great work by all our folks. Al Broughton out in the truck working the graphics, and just great job by our entire Niles Media Group crew.
You know, I've done a lot of work with Niles Group over the last bunch of years with the Missouri Valley Football Conference and the Missouri Valley Conference, and there's just not a better group of folks. And not only that, they're hard workers, but they also respect the game and love the game. And they've really done a lot of work in our marathons over the last couple Saturdays.
Yeah, Mike Benyo up there on camera. Keith King down here getting it done on handheld. And Parham put that one in the crack. They keep on the glass, though. And it goes out of bounds and turns back over to Hogan Prep.
And we've also had some great assistants too, Neil, with statistics and, you know, TOCs. It's just been a lot of fun getting a lot of our great friends involved.
Absolutely. Collins got him a hoop. And he'll go back to the line. Like our guy right here, Terry Black, giving us the stats all night long. All day long.
To bring Terry in from St. Louis, the A-team, with Bo Bunton doing official stats last weekend. Had Chris Muskoff and Aaron Borchell with us. You know, some guys that just love the game and making sure we know what we're talking about.
There you go, which is not always the case, right?
No, not at all.
And Collins, another 3-point play, 2 in a row. He's got 6 points in the ball game, and that cuts the lead to 10. Still plenty of time left. Going strong, Carter on the pump fake.
That's a great ball fake. Got the defender up in the air, took it to the rack.
Yeah, a lot of possession still left. Mason from the parking lot.
Wow. Unbelievable. Hogan Prep, there's no quit. They got the single digits. It's down to 9. Maurice Mason showing why he's one of the elite players in the state of Missouri. Step back from big man range from beyond the arc to knock down the 3.
Was that a guarded 30-footer? What was that?
Yeah, we're going to see it right here.
He shot it from the Norm Stewart line almost.
Parham had his hand in his face. It's like, what else do I have to do? And no, Mason just knocks it down.
Let's turn around and say, hey, good shot, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just give him a little tap on the shoulder and say, I'll take that any day of the week.
Cuts the lead to 9, and like we said, plenty of time left, 2:38 for a team like Hogan Prep. And for 2 teams that play fast. Still going to have a few possessions left in this ballgame the way these 2 teams play. And don't count that man out.
No, you're not going to count that man out. He's the emotional leader for Hogan Prep. He's going to be an all-state player this year for most intensive purposes. He's going to have to lead him. He's going to have to get him going, and that's what it's all about.
Hogan still trying to defend their state championship from a season ago. Charleston trying to get them back from Hogan knocking them out last season in the Final Four. And they work it well here in a little bit of a delay game, taking some clock off here. Parham going down low, Carter, and they turn it over.
Don't necessarily have to foul. You just got to play great defense. Charleston's going to play keep away out front. Only look for the uncontested layup. That's a smart move. But we talked a little bit earlier about, hey, as a coach, can you pull him back and make him do that? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Ridley dumps it off, and a foul as he goes. It'll be on Charleston, and back to the free throw line. Clock is stopped. 2:12, chance to get more points on the board.
Yeah, if you're Charleston, you cannot foul. You've got the lead. You've got to play smart. Don't do anything silly. Get them the ball and make them shoot over top of you. You got to defend.
And it's Ridley to the line. I think it was Tucker that got the foul. He's got 2. And Ridley missing the first free throw.
Got to knock down your free throws. Once again, valuable stuff when you can score and the clock's not running.
Ridley again, and got the second. Cuts that lead to 8. Trap in the backcourt. Finding Hull in the middle of the floor, and now to Parham. Down low, Carter. And he traveled. So another turnover, and Coach Farmer is in pain over there.
Unforced error. All you had to do was take that drop step, spin around and put it up strong, shuffled his feet.
And here comes Hogan Prep down by 8, just under 2 to play. Wainwright from outside, rebound Williams, back to Mason for 3. Rings out, Wainwright is there on the attempt to put it back in there, and then a foul down low that's going on Hogan Prep. Boy, they had 3 clean looks on the offensive glass.
And they're going to call that on Maurice Mason. That is going to be the young man's 5th foul, and the senior is going to have to take a step off the court.
Boy, another guy that's had a great career at Hogan Prep, and he will join his partner, Broderick Newbill, there on the bench. And you can expect to see those 2 young men playing in college next season.
No doubt about it. Had a chance to feature Maurice during the prep zone and talk a lot about what he does and how he can get it done. And he did not disappoint tonight in the state championship game, his last game in a Hogan Prep uniform.
19 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds for the 6'2 senior, Maurice Mason. And here's Parham at the line, hitting the first. Ryan Parham now has 12 points. He is fiddling with that triple-double. He's got 9 assists and 7 rebounds to go along with his 12. Wainwright goes the distance.
Don't need to foul. You don't need to do anything if you're Charleston. You just want to get the ball across half court, make them foul you.
And a traveling call. Turns it over to Hogan Prep. Still plenty of time. 1:34 left. 7-point game, Charleston on top. And Hogan Prep with the basketball. Ridley backs it up and finds Williams for 3. Somebody got a piece of that. I think it was Carter that stepped out and got him a piece, but a traveling call on Gray.
Both teams right now, it's a frantic pace. Hogan Prep trying to dictate, Charleston trying to slow it down. It's a battle of wills right now between these 2 clubs. And you look, able to step up, and somebody did get a piece of it.
And remember, their 2-star senior leading scorer players, Mason and Newbill, are out with fouls. So their go-to guys in situations like this are not in the ballgame.
34 points a game sitting on the bench right now.
Williams, and it stays with Hogan Prep. He's in there on the glass.
And you know what? Look at Mo Mason over
he's
on the
standing
bench.
up.
He's coaching him up. He's giving the enthusiasm. You got to love that from a young man that just fouled out.
And Wainwright couldn't get it to go. Rebound Gray, foul on Hogan Prep. That foul's going to be on Malik Collins, and Collins picks up foul number 4 for him.
You know, that's just great. You know, typically you'd see a young man just fouls out of his last game as a player.
He's still working
sitting the bench, you're sitting down and just pouting a little bit. Not my man Mo Mason over there. He's coaching him up. He's calling his man down there, you know, Malik Collins, saying, listen, this is what you got to do. And that's just great teammates. That's being a team player, and that's being a senior leader.
And at the line, Jamal Gray hits the first one, got another one coming. Danny Farmer in Charleston trying to get that 11th state title all-time for Charleston in the book, but it's not there yet. Ridley dealing off in the corner. Collins, that one's short, but they run down the rebound with Williams. Wainwright spinning and can't get it to go. Foul over the back. That's Rasheed Ewing going up, the 6'4 sophomore, and he draws the foul.
Once again, getting some opportunities, not able to knock down shots, and getting great position. Down here is going to be Charleston, and Thompson comes over the back. Once again, great position by Darian Carter for Charleston.
Here's Carter at the line. Darian Carter 6 points in the ball game to go along with 6 rebounds. You know, you look in the rebound category, number 32 for Charleston, Jamal Gray, 12 rebounds in the game, 14 points, 12 rebounds. 6'1" senior there, Jamal Gray.
Seen a lot of boards tonight.
Here's Williams launching the 3. Wainwright is there. Hogan all over the offensive glass. Ridley in the lane, and he'll go to the free throw line. Boy, it's hard to keep him out of the lane.
Yeah, Ridley does a nice job trying to get those second chance opportunities, trying to help his team out, trailing by 9, trying to get some free throws, but with under a minute left, right now, Charleston, they've just got to be smart.
Anthony Ridley, a junior, so he'll be back next season. 5'6". Missing the first one. And Anthony kind of struggled from the free throw line here tonight. 3 out of 9, but look at his line. 10 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds as a 5'6" player. It's the second one to go. Oh, and they nearly come up with a steal. And they do come up with the steal with 35.8 left and an 8-point lead for Charleston.
Need to knock down a 3. Coach still got 2 timeouts left in his pocket that he can use, but you got to get a bucket.
Ridley dealing off Williams. Tipped out to Ridley. Nice bounce pass to Wainwright. And they get a quick timeout. And Ridley just served up assist number 7 there.
Ridley doing a nice job. He's got to step in and once again penetrate, pass. Got Wainwright on the baseline, cutting to the basket. Nice job. And once again, we'll take a chance to see it here on the almost steal. Comes down and able to see the baseline cutter. What you got to do now, Neil, is you've got to get a stop. Play solid defense. They get it in, you got a foul, you're trailing, but Charleston has just done such a great job at the line tonight.
2-possession game with the 6-point lead, 77-71. Charleston on top. As they visit nearly out to the mid-court stripe here with Coach Farmer in the middle of their huddle, trying to get this one to the finish line. Coach Steitzer, on the other hand, trying to figure out what they need to do to get the ball back. Go for the quick steal. You don't get that, then you got to put them on the line.
They're doing everything they can. You know, once again, their top 2 players fouled out of the ball game. 34 points sitting on the bench per game. But you know what? No quit. Hogan Prep, they're still trying to get it done.
They get the ball in with Parham, and they foul him. And if it's one thing that Ryan has not done real well tonight, Ryan Parham, is shoot free throws. 4 for 8 on the night. But the rest of his game is right on point. 12 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds.
Not very many kids have gotten a double-double in the Show Me Bowl, in the Show Me Showdown. He could be one of those rare kids that's able to do it, but he's going to do it the unconventional way. Points and assists. You don't typically see that. Most of the time when you get the double-double, it's points and boards.
Yep. Well, he's close on the boards with 7. He gets that second one to go and now has 13 points. That was a big one, though, because it made it a 3-possession game. A steal by Tucker on the far sideline, and he'll go back to the line after he's fouled. 13.2 left.
And that could be the dagger right there for Charleston. Getting the man that you want to have the ball on the line.
The 45 free throws attempted in this ball game by Charleston, and we're going to add to that now with Tucker, is a record in a championship game. Back in 1988, New Madrid Central went to the line 41 times. So they're breaking it handily here.
And you know what? Their percentage is pretty doggone good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this guy here, that's now 15 of 19 from the line. He almost broke the record by himself. 27 for Tucker. Here's Ridley on the putback with 3.2. And checking back into the ball game, Anthony Sherrills with 3.2. But Charleston knows they have it now.
Boot Hill basketball is back. You get Scott County Central. You get Charleston. Great run of basketball this year for the Boot.
Scott County Central won their 16th state title in their history and their 4th straight. Charleston, getting this one to the finish line here with 3.2, would win their 11th all-time at Charleston, and their last one was in 2007. Here's the way it went. We've called them all today. Our Niles Media Group crew been here for every one of these. It was Harrisburg that won in Class 2 girls. Billings wins their first state title ever in Class 2 boys. Eminence wins it in Class 1 girls. Scott County Central, number 4 straight. And our game here tonight, Charleston, if we can call them the winner right now with 3.2 left. I've seen some weird things, so I'm not going to totally put it in the books yet.
I think we may be safe with 3 points.
Dude, I've seen 6 go down with 1.9 left. That's all I'll say in a college game. But this one goes into the books for Charleston. Their last state title in 2007. They win it tonight in 2012. Charleston Blue Jays, state champions. The Charleston Blue Jays complete the day. Little payback from the loss last season against Hogan Prep. Tip our hat there to Hogan Prep. Nice ball game here tonight by them with all the foul trouble. They hung on. They played to the end. They've had an outstanding season trying to defend their state title, but what an effort to get back and even play in the state title again. But Coach Farmer and this Charleston team, they wanted to play fast. They played deep. A lot of people that paid off in the 4th quarter and second half here tonight.
You know, that's the one thing, once again, we talked about in the open. He made the comment to us yesterday. No team can stay with us for 32 minutes.
Never know when you're going to be on camera, do you?
Yeah, never know either, but I tell you what, he knocked it down, did a great job, and the bottom line is Danny Farmer, he gets the revenge that was enacted on him from last year, and Charleston Blue Jays, well-deserving of the Class 3 state championship. That puts them number 2 all-time with 11 championships in the state of Missouri, both big and small schools. They're chasing that team that's just a little bit north of them, Scott County Central, who got number 16 this year. But boy, I tell you what, hats off to the Hogan Prep. They didn't quit. They didn't give up. They did everything they needed to do. A lot of foul trouble, a lot of different things. But you know what? The bottom line is, the marathon's over. We've seen some great basketball over the last 2 weeks here at Mizzou Arena and over at the old barn at Hearn Center. And you know what, Neil? It's what the kids are all about. It's celebrating them and what they've been able to do, and it's just been a lot of fun covering them.
It's been a couple of great weeks of basketball here in the state tournament. We crowned state champions in Class 4 and 5 last week. We do it in Classes 1, 2, and 3 this week. Great job all week long, and the last couple of weeks, in fact, by the MSHSAA staff and everybody involved. And of course, it's all about the young kids, the players that played and got to play in the state championships.
It's been a lot of fun, having a great time hanging out with you folks here at Niles and also the great folks at the Missouri State High School Activity Association. Neil, let's take a break for about a year and come back next year.
And how about a nightcap?
Let's go.
For Jim Powers, Corey Riggs, Rich Zavosic, and Sophia Minards, this is Neil Harwell. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Never happen.
I'll never wreck my car.
I'll never roll my truck. Never happened to me. Never. Never. Never.
Never happened to me.
7 out of 10 teenagers killed in Missouri traffic crashes were not wearing